My name is Carter.
And I'm Ryland. And today we have the president of the World University Service of Canada, Studi. Thank you
for
so
coming,
much
Studi.
for being here.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Do you want to start off pretty easy and just tell us about what WUSC is?
Yep. So WUSC stands for World University Services of Canada, and it's a non-profit Canadian organization that works for positive education for all, economic change for youth all over the world, all across the globe. We have WUSC partners with almost 250 partners around the world, and they operate in almost 30 countries.
Wow.
Across Asia, Caribbean, Middle East, and Africa, a lot of different places. So yeah, that's pretty much what WUSC does, education and economic inequalities and stuff like that.
And what does your role look like?
So I am the president of WUSC local committee at NUSU University, and we have a team of 5 to 6 members, and we work with ISS closely, International Student Support. So we work with them closely, and we have full-time staff and part-time staff and students working as part of local committee at NUSU, and we primarily focus on student refugee program, which is one of the flagship program of WUSC. So yeah, we help support the student who is at NUSU for their education and aware students about WUSC and the levy that students pay that contributes for the refugee students' education at NUSU. So it's pretty much awareness events and just like coming with plans for the academic year, stuff like that. Yeah.
How long have you been a part of it?
I think I'm gonna finish my 2nd year this April. I reached out to Eves December 2023 because I was going through Nipissing University's website and I saw WUSC and I was going through it, I was researching, and I said, this is so freaking cool, I want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
So just so beautiful. And I reached out to Eves and I said, hey, I really want to be a part of this thing. I don't know what it really takes. I can send you my application, all that stuff, but I want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And I think then we started the next academic year because we're sponsoring a refugee student, which we're going to be talking about later. I think the next academic year, because this year we have a new refugee student, so then the planning happened and everything, and then they offered me the position of the president, and I said yes, happily, and really honored to be a part of that committee, and I'm really honored to be a president. So 2 years now.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. That's impressive. And do you know, and if you don't, that's okay, how long WUSC has been a part, like Nipissing University has had like their own like kind of chapter of WUSC?
I don't exactly know how many years, but I know it was a long time back because Eves was the manager of ISIS right now. When he was a student, he was very active with WUSC and the committee, and they had a lot of students that they were sponsoring. So a pretty long time, I would say, because of COVID, because everything went online and everything, we hit a little bump in the road.
Yeah.
But now we're trying to revamp it, and we're trying to be more active on campus, aware students of WUSC and all that stuff. But it's been there for a while, I'd say, but I don't really know how many years.
Yeah. So I was looking up like WUSC like just online, like and looking at like their page and everything, and they listed out 3 different struggles that like are impacting youth, and I wanted to ask you like how WUSC kind of is tackling those issues and is trying to support youth. So the 3 that they gave were, the first one was limited opportunities to develop knowledge and skills. The second one was barriers to entering the workforce, and the third one was rebuilding lives after displacement. So I was wondering if you could just touch on like how WUSC is kind of tackling these issues just through your experience here at Nipissing.
Yeah. So as I mentioned earlier, that WUSC has 250 plus partners around the globe, and it operates in 30 plus countries around the globe as well. So in different countries, there's like different partners. So depending on the situational demands of that country, they have different events and programs that they run. But in Canada, and based on my experience, I remember it was, I think the summer before this, Canada, the WUSC in Canada, they manufacture their own chocolate, and the refugees in Canada, they manufacture their own chocolate and they sold the chocolate, and all the money that they made from selling that chocolate, it all went for women's education.
Oh.
So
Oh, that's great.
that's some kind of stuff that WUSC does.
Yeah.
And they're in constant conversation with UNHRC that works with refugees and all that stuff for resettlement purposes, and when the refugees, when they're in the refugee camps, and then when they come to Canada, with the educational pathway, which is the SRP initiative, when they come to Canada and when they finish their degree, when they graduate, they work with UNHRC to help the student sponsor their parents who are still in the refugee camp to come to Canada through the immigration law of Canada, with the migration process. What does it look like? Because when they come to Canada, they get the permanent residency, they get the PR. So after they've gotten their PR, after they finish their studies, and they're like settled here, if they want to bring their family to Canada, how does that look like?
Yeah.
So a lot of them also work with that as well. So there's like a bunch of stuff that they do. There's a lot of seminars that they organize for different networking opportunities for people in Canada, and a lot of trainings as well. So there's a lot of stuff that they do. If we go to WUSC's website, under the news section, we can find a bunch of stuff that they do all across the globe. And so there's a lot of stuff that they focus on. So it really depends on the theme and what they're looking for, but definitely a lot of stuff that they do. And I'm so happy to be a part of that organization.
Yeah, that's incredible. Does it feel like it's on like a large scale, knowing that WUSC literally goes up like around the entire world?
Yes, I did not know that before this. I think it was summer 2024. I think in August when I attended a training in Ottawa, and my mind was blown because the amount of stuff that they do is so beautiful. I was crying the whole time.
Aww.
Because there were people talking about their experience living in refugee camps, and because of like wars and everything, you would not even know where your families are because you're like in different camps.
You get
refugee
separated.
camp. Yes, so that was really difficult to hear
Yeah.
because it's a lot. I can't even imagine what it would be like. So being a part of that organization that helps those students, young minds, because in conversation with refugee students that I've met in the training, they're so smart, they're so intelligent, they're so creative, and talking to them and having like just them being able to come to Canada and build their life by themselves, and being a part of that organization that helps them support their dreams is such a beautiful feeling. So it feels really cool, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
It's really
Can
great.
you expand more on what the student refugee program is for people who might not know what that means?
So, Student Refugee Program is a flagship program or initiative of WUSC, and that is where the local committees, which is across Canada, like different universities have local committees, including Nipissing University.
Yeah.
So we primarily work with the SRP program, which is basically, so WUSC talks to people in different refugee camps, and they
Across the world?
Yeah, across the world, in different refugee camps with the governments and everything. They're in contact with governments around the world, and they bring in students through an educational pathway to Canada, and when they come to Canada, they get a permanent residency, and they come to different universities in Canada. Before that, they have a profile matching thing with what their interests are, what kind of city they want to live in. Nipissing University get a lot of students who want to do nursing and education program because Nipissing is pretty good with that. So we get a lot of profiles, like students' profile and academic profiles, and based on their interest and based on their interest of education and all that stuff, we match students with if they would like Nipissing or if they would not like Nipissing, whatever. So there's a profile matching stuff that happens, and then we bring in students to Canada through an educational pathway, and that pathway is Student Refugee Program, SRP. So they come to Canada with a permanent residency, and they stay in Canada throughout their academic journey, and it's all paid for, it's all sponsored by the university, and each university student under our ancillary fees, we can even look that up, ancillary fees, there is a World University Canada service fee, and each student in Nipissing pay $150. So each Nipissing student is contributing and is helping to sponsor someone's dream. So
That's
we
incredible.
we have a refugee student on campus. They started this year, so all of us are actually helping them fulfill their dreams. So
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
And how many refugee students do we get a year? Is it just one?
yes, just one, because we cannot really afford to have a lot of students right now, but just it's one student in 4 years. Like for 4 years we have a student, and after they're done with their degree, then we sponsor someone else.
Oh.
So for their academic year, like for their academic career, how do I say
Yeah,
this?
that's
The
right.
academic journey,
Yeah.
there's one student that we sponsor, and then once they're done with their degree, then we have the other student that we again contact WUSC, the national committee in Ottawa, and we just say, hey, we're ready to have another student, we're going to
Wow.
sponsor a new student, and if we get a lot of donations, and if we could get a lot of money through a lot of different ways with
Yeah.
events or donations and whatever, then we could even think about sponsoring another student, but for now we just have a student. So,
Wow.
yeah.
And the student that's currently at Nipissing, are they in their 4th year or?
They
We
just
just
started
started.
this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we
Okay.
just
Oh,
yeah,
it's
there was a
okay.
student who just finished their degree, and then
Yeah.
now we have another student who just
That
started
just
this
started,
year.
okay.
Yeah. So
Wow.
every 4 years we sponsor a new student.
And are they does WUSC work with residents to have those students live in residence for their time in
Yes.
Nipissing? Okay.
Yes. So residence is paid for, and yep, they have accommodations that's taken care of and everything. So
Wow.
That's
yeah.
incredible.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
it's really nice.
Now, coming back to just how WUSC functions at Nipissing, how might a student get involved with
Mhm.
WUSC? Is there volunteer opportunities to just get involved, or is the best way to do that by getting involved with the committee?
Right now, we are not really looking for a lot of students to get involved in the committee, because we're not doing a lot of events and stuff
Yeah.
necessarily. However, that's been our goal, and as a president myself, that's been my goal, to have more events and aware students. So we might not be hiring or seeing, how do I say this?
Looking for
Students to volunteer or be a part of the committee, but definitely looking for people to attend our events and just aware students about WUSC and how we sponsor the student and all that stuff. So we do a lot of giveaways and stuff as well, like tablings and everything, and we're trying to bring in more events over the summer. I'm hoping to brainstorm new ideas so that we can just continue doing it for the next academic year. So
Yeah.
hopefully we'll have more opportunities for people to get involved.
Mhm.
At the moment, we don't have a lot, which is a little sad, but it's okay. We're just
Okay.
still trying to revamp stuff,
Yeah.
and we're still trying to make it better, and we're trying to make WUSC a very active committee, a group on campus where people can get involved. So that's the goal, and we're working towards it. So hopefully next year, if we have more events and everything, we might need more volunteer students to help us support that event. As of now, not a lot, but stay tuned.
Mhm.
Amazing.
And everything that WUSC is already doing is
Yeah.
already more than enough.
I feel
to,
like it's
make
also-
a huge impact.
Yeah, it's behind the scenes as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's amazing.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. We've gotten to the last segment,
Mhm.
which is NUSU lets you talk. So you have the floor to be able to give a message out to students
Mhm.
and leave a final word for them.
So, oh my god, I don't know what to say.
That's okay.
But I just want to say thank you to each and every Nipissing student, because you guys have no idea that you guys are part of something so big, because every $1.50 you pay under your ancillary fees, which might be so little for you guys because it's just $1.50, but just knowing that you're supporting a student finish their degree, because I was talking to the refugee student who is on campus right now, and a year back they were in refugee camps and they never thought they would be in Canada pursuing something that they love, but your $1.50 is really helping them fulfill their dreams, which is so beautiful. So you're a part of something so big. So thank you so much. I think it's beautiful, it's so amazing, and I feel honored to be a part of something so beautiful, so nice, and I hope that we can come up with more events and aware students that you guys are a part of something so good, so beautiful, and yeah, so
I'm gonna be the one to say it this time, but Small action, big change.
Yeah,
That we say
absolutely.
every single podcast, because
Yeah.
every group that we talk to
Mhm.
in their own way makes their own impact on campus.
Yeah.
And I think the message and what WUSC does is just such a beautiful thing
Yeah.
to be able to provide people with new opportunities.
Yeah.
And like you said, that $1.50, it might not seem like much, but that's literally like changing someone's entire
It's
life.
providing them with education.
Yep.
Giving them an
Yeah.
opportunity, which is
Exactly.
incredible.
Yeah. Life's changing.
It
It's
is.
just
That's amazing.
so great. So yeah,
Yeah.
really honored to be a part of something so beautiful. And I think everyone should be, because your $1.50 is literally changing someone's life.
Yeah.
And it's making a huge impact in their life. So thank you. So yeah.
Incredible. Well, thank you so much for joining us,
Thank
Studi.
you
This
so
was a
much.
wonderful conversation. I
Thank
learned
you.
a lot
I
personally.
learned so much.
Yeah.
You would talk to me about WUSC and I was like, what? A WUSC? Or like I didn't know what you were talking about, but
Yep.
this just opened my eyes about how much we change someone's life
Mhm.
every year.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
So thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you for
Thank you
having
so
me, guys.
much.
Thank
It's
you
so
for
good.
coming. This is so
Of
fun.
course.
Thank you everyone for watching, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.